new, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, thank you for being an OS, and that's an original subscriber. I want to apologize for the noise in the background, and I want to say, how are you guys doing during this pandemic? I hope you guys are trying to stay safe and washing your hand, ensuring. So we're gonna jump straight into the look, and for the prepping of the eyelids, I'm going to use our Maybelline New York Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. So I'm just going to take it on my fingertip and I'm going to wipe it on my lids. So after I apply that to my eyelids, I'm going to take a small concealer brush and my P. Louise base, and I'm going to place it on my eyelids. Before I continue, I want you guys to know that everything will be listed in the description, so if I forget anything, you guys can definitely check the description to find what I missed. So I'm going to take the same angled brush that I used to blend in the base, the P. Louise base, and I'm going to take my Sacha Buttercup setting powder and I'm going to set the base that I just applied on my eyelids. So you want to blow away the excess product so it doesn't just fall out, and you just want to gently tap that in, not wiping it, because for the base shadow I'm going to be taking my Morphe 35M palette and a small blending brush, and I'm going to be taking the shadow forward as a base shadow, and it's this shadow right here. So after you blend your first base shade, you're going to go into your Zulu palette or any palette that you have and take out a purple shade on a crease brush. I always blow the excess products off my brush because I don't want any fallout, and this is why I always do my eyeshadow before I do any foundation, because some eyeshadow at the purple shadow you can go back in with the same brush that you used to take up the fawn color out of the 35M palette and just go over the top part of it again to ensure that the cranberry color is actually peeking through. So now we're going to cut our creases, and to cut my creases I'm going to be using a very small angled brush, and I'm going to be using my P. Louise in Rumor 03 to cut the creases. You can use any concealer that you have, any light concealer that you have to cut your creases. So if you have hooded eyes, this technique is going to be perfect for you, and if you don't have hooded eyes, you could cut your crease anywhere that you desire, but this is mostly for hooded eyes. So I'm going to show you what I do. So I take my product and put it on my brush, and then I'm going to put it in the crease, and I'm going to look up, and this is going to cause the concealer or the base. Because I have hooded eyes, whenever my eyes are open you can't see the lower lid as much as before when it's closed, if that makes sense. So what I did, I took the concealer or the base and I carried a little further up, so even when my eyes are open you guys can see what is on my lid, essentially. So now that I cut my creases, you guys can definitely use a wipe to to wipe away the lower area where the other shadow is, because when you apply your base you don't want it to cross-contaminate and create a color on its own. You want a very white and clean area where we can apply the shadow that we want and get the shadow that we put on our lids, if that is making sense. Or if you don't have a wipes, you guys could use a cotton ball or Q-tip, whatever you guys call it, and just wipe away the area. So now that we put the base on the part that we cut out, we're going to use our Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and we're going to set that area. The reason why we set that area is because we do not want it to crease throughout the day. And when I say crease, is because our eyelids produces a lot of oil that we put on the base. We set it to ensure that the eyeshadow doesn't crease. So I'm going to use the same brush that I used to apply the base, and I'm going to use that to pack on the setting powder. After we set our eyelids, we're just going to use a brush, a blending brush, whatever brush that you have, and we're going to buff that setting powder that we just put in place. Now after we have completed packing on the shadow, we're going to go back into our Zulu palette, and I'm going to be using an eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to be packing the yellow shadow in the Zulu palette onto the inner creases of my eyelids. And so after I pack that color on, I'm going to go back into the Zulu palette, and I'm going to be taking the red shadow out of it, and I'm going to apply in the same motion, but I'm not going to carry it all over the lid, in the center of the lid. So out of the Morphe palette, I took the color Express Yourself and added it to the turquoise color. Is it turquoise? I'm not sure. Out of the Zulu palette, and put it into the creases in between. You guys are seeing it. It's so beautiful in person. I hope it carries the same weight. And we're gonna go over and we're gonna blend again. If I'm going to zoom up, you guys are gonna see my lace, and I just want to apologize in advance. You guys realize I say the word flawless and seamless a lot. That's just my personality, and that's how I am. I'm going to be taking an eyeliner pen, and you can take whatever you want. It's either a pencil, a felt tip, or whatever you choose. And we're going to make an eyeliner. We're not going to make a wing, but we're just going to make a small little line across to make the look more bold. After I do my liner, this is the finished look, guys. So the eyeshadow, well, not finished. We have the lower lashes, or the lower area to deal with, but I just want to show you guys. So the look is not yet complete, and we're going to continue with the eyeshadow in a minute, but we're going to clean up the area of the eyeshadow with a wipes. I'm going to be using a Q-tip, and then after I clean up that, I'm going to come back with you, and we're going to get into the rest of the face. I'll be using the xoxo mattifying primer, face primer, to prep my skin, and I'm going to be using my fingertips, and I'm just going to rub that in the area that I get oily the most. Because my face is oily, I'll be using the xoxo Buttercup setting powder, and I'm just going to set in the primer that I just applied to my skin. And this also helps your makeup to stay long. We're going to take our big powder brush, and we're just going to swipe away the excess product. foundation in 368 in deep golden. Yeah, this is how it looks, guys. And I'm going to also mix it with my Superstay foundation in Moco. Now that the foundation is evenly add throughout our face, we're going to take a pat our buff brush and we're going to just pat it and ensure that it's smooth, there's no harsh line or anything. After we've blushed everything out, we're going to go into our Zulu palette and we're going to take that brown shadow on an angle blending brush and we're going to bluff it into our cheekbone from our ears to right here of our jaw. I don't know where that area is. I completely forgot to highlight, guys. So to highlight, we're going to take our Juvia's Place I Am Magic concealer in shade 11 and I'm just going to put it underneath my eyes. Thank you guys so much for the support. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for the support. Please turn on your post notification and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and please come again for another amazing video. We're on the road to 100 subscribers and I know you guys can get me there. Thank you so much.